here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Gets past one man. And a 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Daniels. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Big yardage that time for Washington. 65 yards.
No wasting any time here before hitting out a big play. And that was something this defense talked about having to guard against. Not giving up big plays in the passing game. But here's one on the opening drive of the contest.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Daniels with a give to Krosky-Merritt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
And they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense, because when they came out on the field, their #1 mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
As it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Credit the stop there to Leo Chanel getting into the backfield and stopping him in his tracks.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Darnold. He'll try and do this himself. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. We'll get that to Charbonnet. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Darnold. And he is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Hey, watch him right here. Go, go, go.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Darnold. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
In motion right, that's Williams. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play. Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
To the air goes Daniels. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out. See that?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
68 yards receiving now for him in the game. Had a first down on that last catch as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Now a 2nd and 10.
To the air again, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Darnold now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, Seattle.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Darnold to throw again. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On the give, here's Charbonnet.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Third and 2.
Here's Darnold. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. Myers' kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. One final possession for the Commanders in this opening half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Well, indeed, try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Daniels looking to throw.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's Daniels.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
At the 45-yard line.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Throwing now is Daniels.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
So halftime. Well, no sooner did the teams get to the locker rooms, and they're running right back out. Halftime over, 3rd quarter, ready to go.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Darnold.
They'll set up a screen to Charbonnet.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the first down.
Faking the give, Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Throwing quickly, Darnold, that's complete.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Up the middle, Krosky Merritt.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Now Daniels. Short throw here, the tight end Bates.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
2nd down and 3. Out of the gun, they go with Krosky Merritt.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
This is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
They get 17 there. Good for a Commanders first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports.
It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now he'll try to run with this. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels.
An 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, a defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field, and of course for pass plays. For the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll begin here with a run to Charbonnet.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. And incompletion as a result.
Washington on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and 9 now from the 21. Looking to throw. Daniels. Looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw is Daniels. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he's been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. In motion goes the tight end. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They juked him. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
A run now with Charbonnet.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
He finds Smith-Njigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle.
A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Seahawks have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offense, and he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Looking to put a drive together.
The drive begins with a carry by Krosky-Merritt.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage.
He's tackled at the
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best run.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run.
Still on his feet. Terry McLaurin.
Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, 70 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. second down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Gets this complete to Smith-Njigba.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Seahawks. First down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's first and 10 now. Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete.
He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Darnold to throw.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
Work to do here with a crowd at fever pitch. 3rd and 9. Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's first and 10. Now Darnold.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here comes second down.
Darnold.
He'll get that to Charbonnet. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder here. Are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. First and 10. On the carry, Charbonnet. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Seahawks. First down.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his third field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. So the victory here for